Well, hello there, Cancer, and Happy New Year. I'm Mary Sue, and I'm so grateful that you're here. So today we are going to be doing your 2024 tarot reading. So we'll take a look first at the overall energy for the year ahead, and then we'll take a look at the details about the energy and the obstacles on your path and advice from Spirit for each of the 4 quarters of the year ahead. So let's go ahead and get started. We're going to first start with the Soul Traveler's card and the Animal Spirit card to get an energy of the overall energy for the year ahead. Now, this is an 8-year, so 2024, 2 plus 0 plus 2 plus 4 equals 8. And 8 is the Strength card in Tarot, an energy of going within, taming the need to be forceful in the world, right? And being able to kind of come back to our inner knowing. We think of the Strength card as very masculine because it's a strength. But if you think about the Tarot card, it's the little girl taming, right? The lion, knowing that our divine feminine, allowing our divine feminine to kind of like help guide that energy that we have to wanting to take action in the world. Being more intuitive, taking our time as we move forward, knowing that that inner strength, that inner light, that inner knowing that we have will guide us guide us more directly about where it is we want to take action. So let's take a look first at your overall energy. Mystic Healer, healing energy flows through you, and Brown Bear Spirit, take time out. Yeah, that's very much the energy that I'm getting for you here, right here at the beginning of the year. So first of all, let's talk about last year, 2023. That was the year of the Chariot, your energy, right? But the Chariot, has the 2 horses, and the driver of the Chariot has to keep both of the horses in control in order for the Chariot to go forward and straight on the path. Last year, 2023, the energies were somewhat chaotic. So it was kind of like the one horse would go in one direction, the other horse would go in the other. You may have felt like you were kind of like being battered between one thing and another, just like a lot of action, but maybe you feel like you didn't make a lot of progress in your life. So you could have been very, very busy, but it was all kind of chaotic. And there's this energy of going within, taking a little bit of a time out, taking a breath before we start this new year, right? So many of you have said that you're really taking a little time to kind of like meditate, reflect on the last year, really kind of like focusing on where it is that you want to go. And once again, I mean, I know personally last year was just like crazy busy, right? In my personal life. And it was all good, but it was just, just kind of like trying to keep up with all of the activity instead of having that kind of calm atmosphere. And I think that that is what this year is bringing for us. It's about going a little bit slower, but having a little bit more intention and making sure that we're using our intuition to align ourselves to where it is that we want to go, making decisions based on that, right? Taking time out instead of just reacting to all the things that are going on around us, right? New opportunities, new relationships, new situations, It's about, okay, wait a minute. Let me take just a breath here. Is this an opportunity or a relationship that fits in with what it is that I want for myself long term, right? Going back to that sense of the inner knowing, going back to using your intuition to guide you. It's a beautiful energy here of stepping into more of your power, either as a healer, okay, or allowing yourself to heal, to rejuvenate, to refuel, to gather back some of your time and energy so that you can reassess where it is that you want to put your time and energy. There could have been a lot of things. Yeah, you have a consciousness of lack on the bottom. So there could have been a lot. You could have just a lack of energy right now. That's a little bit of it. You could just feel like 2023 was just so chaotic that you didn't have a chance to catch your breath, right? This is like let me catch my breath here for a second before I just, jump back into a new year. What things in my life that I put time and energy, love and resources into, but don't feel as if I got that same amount of time, energy, love, and resources back from, right? You could be playing it a little bit safe, not allowing yourself to make changes in your life because you want to make sure that there's something here about not wanting to kind of like it's kind of like you don't want to pass up any opportunity or close out any opportunity because you're afraid it may not be able to come back to you at some point. Okay, so this is beautiful. This is leading you in a very good spot. So if you're having that energy of feeling like you're depleted of energy and you need to take a time out, definitely do this because you're starting January, February, March. This essence of healing, of understanding that perhaps all of the things, not just 2023, but even prior years, okay? Because Pluto is still in Capricorn. It's been there since 2008. Pluto is all about those secrets, right? That transformation. It's Scorpio energy, very transformative. So you could have felt very much like you're not the same person as you were in 2008. But Pluto is in Capricorn was all about following the rules, working really hard, being tied to things or situations or relationships, feeling tied to maybe family connections or friends and family, having a hard time. Letting go of those, even if they're draining you of your time, your energy, your love. And so it's interesting because Pluto's moving into Aquarius January 21st, and it'll be there for the next 20 years. There's a sense of healing, okay? This deeper inner healing of things that have occurred on your path that you haven't been able to quite understand. And 2023, that's why I feel like you had this energy of things were just happening so fast. You could have even had like a lot of like flare up conflicts in relationships that you thought were okay. And then suddenly something flares up and you're kind of like, whoa, wait a minute, where'd that come from? Right? And it's just kind of like, you may have felt like you were putting out fires all year long, just trying to, keep people in your life or your boss, your friends, your family members, your neighbors, like just constantly feeling like you were having to please or kind of like smooth the ruffled feathers of people in your life. This is the energy of taking a look at that. Yes. And taking look at this. You have the Pluto energy, the Scorpio energy, understanding that something has to come to an end. And you intuitively know that your fears have been holding you back. Your fear of letting go, that's that Capricorn energy. It's almost like, I'm surprised the devil isn't here. It's kind of like, what is it that you want to celebrate, especially in your sector of kind of like partnerships, relationships, family. It's what do you want to celebrate? What have you transformed since 2008? How have your ideas changed? There's something here about taking a little time out to think about that. Think about how your mindset, your beliefs, your habits, your routines, your energy around especially family situations have changed, right? You could have a completely different viewpoint of what family really represents to you. It could be that you no longer feel like family has to be blood relatives, that family could be people in your life that truly support you. Right? Understanding that your soul tribe doesn't have to be your blood relatives. Your soul tribe might be people that you're not blood relatives with, but people that celebrate you, right? People that celebrate what it is that you want to do, the way that you want to shine your light out into the world. That's why I feel like for some of you, you may be stepping into the energy of truly being a healer, sharing your journey, sharing your gifts, your spiritual gifts with other people. Because what you have been through since Pluto went into Capricorn in 2008 has helped you to heal this energy, to transform, and now you're ready to share what it is that you have learned. Look at, you have the Eight of Cups, walking away from people or situations that are not balanced in order to find a sense of more balance in your life, of not over giving to people or situations that do not help to refuel you, to rejuvenate you, right? Because when we put out our time and energy, we need to allow ourselves for other people and situations to return that time and energy to us, perhaps in a different way, right? But there is that ebb and flow, that give and take in relationships. And I feel like you're taking action. You're seeing clearly where people or situations in your life are not in alignment, okay, with that give and take, where you're giving too much and not receiving back enough, and therefore your energy is depleted, right? It could be in the workplace. It could be with relatives. It could be with friends. It could be neighbors, right? This is kind of interesting because one time this is a long time ago, I was like the president of our HOA, our homeowners association, right? Oh my goodness. What a thankless job. Any of you that have had that opportunity, right? It's one of those things where you put so much time and energy into it, and you'll have a small handful of people that appreciate it. But most of the time, it's emails or phone calls or whatever from people in your neighborhood, your community, right? That want changes made. And they want you to do it. It's not necessarily that they're like, oh, I'd really like to blah, blah, blah for the neighborhood. It's kind of like, why isn't the HOA, or why aren't you doing it? And I feel like you've been in this situation, okay, perhaps since 2008, the last 15 years, where you're giving out to all these people and situations. Look at, it's kind of like you're in the middle here, but you're giving out to all of these people, like multiple different groups of people or different individuals, and you're depleted. It's kind of like, I don't have any more to give, right? This is it. This is all I have. And so you're deciding, I have to walk towards something that is more fulfilling. The Nine of Cups is that sense of fulfillment, okay? So with the Eight of Cups, it's kind of like, okay, this is okay. This is pretty good, but this isn't my 9 or 10 of Cups. I need to go in a different direction in order to find that. For some of you, it could even be in your career sector where you feel like you're just over giving in the situation and not perhaps being compensated financially or being, acknowledged by your boss or the people you work with or your clients. It's kind of like, yes, I have to go in a different direction. And that is what you're having clarity about. When you allow yourself some time here, you're having this clarity about what you have to end. The King of Wands is kind of interesting. The King of Wands is a spiritual teacher for me as a reader. But you have to also allow yourself to go in the direction that is best for you. In order to become the healer, the King of Wands goes out on his own path, knowing that he doesn't necessarily fit in with everybody that's in his life. He understands, and I'm inspired to help other people. So I have to go in this other direction, even if I have to go by myself, because I know when I go in that direction, I put time and energy into sharing what I know with other people, or sharing my gifts with other people, that I will attract in new people that will want more of what I have. For some of you, you could be leaving like a career or a job that is kind of like corporate based or something like that in order to start your own spiritual business. Intuitively, you know that the journey ahead is not illuminated at this time, but it is about overcoming your fears of what lies ahead in order to take that first step and to have the path illuminated for you. And with the high priestess, this is sometimes when we can't necessarily see the path in front of us or see this new journey that you're going to take. We don't know exactly where it's going to lead, to allow ourselves to step into the intuition and to gather that energy of the strength card, that courage, that perseverance, right? To allow ourselves to not go on this new path with the roaring lion energy of force, but allowing our intuition to guide us as we move forward. It's kind of a little bit, they're showing me like you may feel like you're in the dark at this time, right? And if you've ever, I have actually gone on a hike one time and it went longer than we thought and it got dark. And literally, it was the moon that saved us that night to get out of the woods. And I feel like you had the moon. See, you have the moon there, right? And you have the moon here, allowing your intuition to guide you, knowing that your mind can't see where this is all going, but having that deep inner knowing and allowing your intuition to guide you. It's just one step at a time. When I was going through the woods in the dark, right? It literally was one step at a time. And luckily it had rained earlier in the day because it was the woods. So the moon wasn't bright. It wasn't out by itself, right? It was being shadowed by the trees. But luckily there were puddles on the path. And the puddles, the water in the puddles were picking up the moonlight. So it was literally going from one puddle to the next, right? Getting to one puddle and looking forward, seeing where's another puddle. Yeah. And you may have a little bit of that. So it's about taking a little time, right? Allowing your intuition to guide you, not to feel like the chariot energy of, I got to make all this progress. I have to go fast. It's like, okay, wait a minute. I have to go slower because I don't know exactly where I'm going. I'm in the dark, a little bit in the dark, but trusting, knowing that I'm on the right path. Okay, so that's January, February, March, April, May, and June. Look at this, Queen of Wands. So you had the King of Wands, now you have the Queen of Wands, really stepping into your energy, being confident, okay? You could kind of say the King of Wands is a little bit arrogant, right? The Queen of Wands is very loving, right? She's very open to meeting new people. She's very creative, very business savvy. And look at this, you're attracting in those new people, right? It is when you allow yourself to walk away from some people, some relationships, perhaps a job or a career, in order to follow where your heart is leading you, right? Even though it's in the dark, you don't know exactly where it's going, but you're building confidence in yourself. You're listening to, the Queen of Wands is much more intuitive than the King of Wands. You're using your intuition and you're gaining more confidence in your own intuition, into your own knowing. Yes, you're looking at exactly where you would put your time and energy, and it has been draining of your own energy. And you're saying to yourself, yes, I have to balance that out. I have to allow myself to let go of these people or these situations, these habits, these mindsets that have been draining me of my energy in order to make room for these new people, more positive mindsets, more positive behaviors and routines that will help me to feel more confident, to feel more open to meeting new people and new situations. Because then July, August, and September, you are making traction. Okay, with the Knight of Pentacles, it can be slow, but it's making progress. It's understanding that, that you are building a strong foundation. If you have the Knight of Wands or the Knight of Swords here, it would be this energy of, I'm going forward and I'll figure it out when I get there. This is the energy of, no, I'm going slower, but I'm also making progress and I'm building that strong foundation. So for whatever I am building in my life, whether it's a career, a business, a new relationship, that it is going to have a strong foundation. It's not going to crumble at the first little breeze. It's going to last the test of time. Now, with the behind a mask, I think some of you are kind of doing this in secret. You could be actually, so an example would be, you may be starting a side business here in the first half of 2024, and it's starting to grow with the Knight of Pentacles, but you're not letting your employer know, all right? Because you're concerned that if your employer knew that you were starting this side business, right? Especially maybe a spiritual side business, that they would frown upon this, right? Or it could be that you're keeping it from your friends and family that you know would not appreciate you stepping into your spiritual gifts, okay? So for instance, when I started this YouTube channel, right, I didn't tell anybody. I told a very small handful of friends that I knew appreciated my ability to intuitively use tarot readings, right? Or tarot cards. And that was a very small group, because a lot of people in my life did not believe in spirituality and especially in the tarot. So I kept that a secret, right? I kept it a secret from a lot of people in my life. In fact, if you go back, my very first videos are just my hands. I didn't even show my face. And so it's kind of like, I feel like that's the same energy here, where you're kind of keeping it under wraps. It's not that you're trying to hide it from anybody in a negative way. What you're really trying to do is protect yourself, protect your gifts, protect what it is that you're building until you get enough traction on the path, right? So that you can truly step into who you are, right? When we're building something new, it's kind of funny, like this time of year, a lot of people are kind of like starting a new diet or something like that. Sometimes it does help to share your goals with another person or some other people in your life. But the thing is that especially if you're trying to step into an energy of being a healer or using your spiritual gifts, your Reiki gifts, your use of crystals, your use of being a healer, healing yourself and how you did that, right? If part of that is not in alignment with what other people in your life believe, especially if it has to do with family members, right? Or close friends, then the thing is that until you get it really kind of going, they could inadvertently kind of get into your head and get you to not shine your light. Here's the thing, you're stepping into your light. And when you step into your light, there are going to be people in your life that are going to want to dim your light. You probably already know who those people are. You intuitively know that if you try to make a change in your life, they step in and they either are counterproductive for you, or they may plant seeds of doubt in your mind, whatever that might be. Because if you make a change in your life, that means it's going to affect them in some way, and they don't want a change. So I do feel like July, August, September, you're keeping it under wraps. And I think that is a good thing to do at that time, to allow yourself to get more confident in what you are doing, to get some traction. Yeah, because then you are going to be able to tell the truth. You're getting to the point, I think, by the end of September to be able to speak your truth to some other people and allow yourself to leave one situation in order to go in a new situation. So leaving perhaps a job to go start your own business, leaving a relationship or some relationships behind so that you can truly step onto your spiritual path, even though you don't know exactly where it's going. You're having the ability, the confidence in yourself to take that step because you're starting to see that what you're working on is taking off. So if you're starting a spiritual business, you're seeing it's growing, right? If I go and start working on this side business full time, then I'll have the financial means. I don't have to also have my day job, right? Okay, so then October, November, and December, you're making major progress because you're in alignment with what your heart truly desires. Yes, and I feel like for some of you, the Chariot can be about truly moving. Not, the World card is too. Maybe moving to another city or another country or another town, or moving, there's this energy here of not moving away from somebody or some situation, but moving closer to something that is near and dear to your heart, right? Yeah, it's your doubts that have held you back. So it could be, maybe you have been in a relationship and had a job like in the middle of the United States, the breadbasket, right? And you've always wanted to live near the water. So all of a sudden you're saying, I have to move where my heart truly desires. I'm moving towards the ocean, a lake, whatever it is. I'm physically moving. For others of you, it could be that you're kind of leaving behind some of the mindsets, the beliefs that you've had for a very long time that are ingrained in the 3D to move closer to what you believe and more of that 5D, incorporating the 5D. Yeah, this is something that is going to be a little bit difficult for you. It's something that I think you've been toying with for some time. You're definitely having an ending somewhere September to the end of the year, but that's ending helps you to get the progress that it is that you want. It's about going towards what your heart truly desires, putting it out. Yeah, allowing yourself to drop the burdens of some other situation in your life, to no longer hold yourself back. Yeah, no longer holding yourself back, going forward, loving yourself enough to go towards your 9 of Cups. And when you do, look at 1 + 9 is 10. You have what it is. you acquire, you step truly onto the path. And if you notice, this is a lot of that internal strength, right? It's not about overcoming obstacles. It's really, I feel like this year, if you're drawn to my channel, there's something about this internal energy of becoming more intuitive, allowing ourselves to use our intuition to give us that strength, that courage in order to move towards what it is our heart desires. It's not about being the lion and telling everybody off or telling everybody that they don't know what they're doing and you have all the insight, right? I don't think you're doing that anyway, but I'm just trying to, it's just kind of like, this is like a quiet goodbye, if you will, right? It's not about, I'm leaving because there's this huge conflict. You're leaving because you know your heart is drawing you in a different direction and that it's the right thing for you. Okay, so beautiful energy here, Cancer. Lovely 2024 ahead for you. I do have, if this is resonating, I do personal readings, and I have a special year ahead reading available. It looks at each of the 12 months separately. So if this resonated and you'd like to take a look at that, I would be honored to do a reading for you. The link is in the description box below. All right, let's see what your soul truth card is for this. Where am I with my health goals? Where do I want to be? Why am I not there? What will it take for me to feel well? Now with the health, okay, it is your physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual health, all right? Not just your physical. But it's also the energy of, working on your pentacles, your finances, right? This is very much the tangible. Where am I with those goals, right? And then where is it that I want to go? If my body could talk, it would say, feed your body what it needs to feel nourished. That's very much this brown bear energy, right? Of taking good care of yourself, taking time out to allow yourself that mental and emotional rejuvenation. Yeah, make some new exciting goals to take your health to the next level. And once again, it's not just your physical health. I feel like there's mental, emotional, and spiritual growth this year. Not to throw out the physical, but it's finding that balance, allowing yourself more time to step into your spirituality. All right, I'm going to leave it there, Cancer. I really do appreciate all of your support by liking, commenting, and subscribing. And I hope that you have a very much blessed, happy, healthy, and prosperous 2024. I hope to see you again really soon. Much love and light. Bye for now.